Welcome to USA Old Coins, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. In the year 1940, the world was changing rapidly, and even in the midst of uncertainty, the United States Mint continued producing coins that would go on to become tiny historical treasures. Among these coins was one that still captures the imagination of collectors around the world, the Lincoln Wheat Penny of 1940. This simple 1-cent coin, small in size yet vast in story, tells a tale that connects America's past to the present, one that shines not for its gold or silver, but for its history, design, and the mystery behind its rare surviving examples. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny emerged during a time when the United States was just beginning to recover from the Great Depression. Money was tight, every cent mattered, and these humble copper coins often carried the weight of daily transactions, from buying a newspaper to paying for a loaf of bread. Few people at that time would have imagined that some of these ordinary-looking pennies would one day become incredibly valuable pieces of American history. Each of these 1940 wheat pennies carries the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. Brenner's design had already become legendary, symbolizing honesty, perseverance, and freedom, qualities Americans deeply respected during those uncertain years. The portrait of Lincoln was detailed, with sharp cheekbones and a thoughtful gaze, representing a leader who guided the nation through its darkest hours. Flip the coin over, and you find the classic wheat ears reverse, also designed by Brenner. Two graceful stalks of wheat curve along the sides, framing the bold words 1 cent and United States of America. Above, the national motto E pluribus unum reminds us that from many comes one. This simple, rustic design reflected the agricultural heart of America and the strength of unity, a symbol of the nation's roots. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint added its own mark, or in the case of Philadelphia, none at all. The coins with a D or S mint mark are slightly more sought after by collectors because they represent smaller mintages, especially those from San Francisco, known for careful craftsmanship. Now, while millions of these pennies were struck, not all were created equal. Some came out perfectly round and detailed, while others carried tiny minting errors that make collectors' hearts race today. It's those imperfections, misprints, double dies, off-center strikes, that can turn a regular penny into a rare, high-value collectible. The thrill of finding one is like striking gold in your own change jar. One of the reasons the 1940 penny has captured so much attention over time is its rich copper composition. Made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, these coins glow with a warm reddish hue when well preserved. Over time, oxidation gives them a darker tone, but collectors know that those bright, uncirculated examples shine like a window into the past. When we talk about coins from this era, condition is everything. A 1940 wheat penny that has passed through countless hands will show signs of wear, scratches, dullness, faded details. But those that were set aside early, perhaps by someone with an eye for beauty or luck, remain crisp and sharp. These untouched coins can reach extraordinary prices today, far beyond their humble 1-cent face value. Imagine holding a 1940 penny that looks as if it was struck yesterday, the lines of Lincoln's face clear, the wheat ears detailed, and the color deep and brilliant. Such a coin feels like a time capsule, carrying within it the essence of 1940 America, a nation on the brink of war but full of determination. Some of the rarest and most valuable 1940 wheat pennies owe their worth to rare minting errors. A famous example is the 1940 double die obverse, where the date and lettering appear slightly doubled under magnification. These errors happened when the dies were misaligned during production, resulting in unique pieces that collectors will pay thousands to own. Another fascinating variant includes off-center strikes, where the design is shifted to one side, leaving part of the blank metal exposed. These mistakes were not caught by quality control at the time, and because few survive, they command significant premiums in the coin market today. Even more alluring are the proof coins struck in 1940. These were special issues made for collectors, struck with polished dies to give a mirror-like finish. Only a few thousand were made, and surviving examples are treasured as works of art in copper. Their shimmering surfaces reveal the full beauty of Brenner's design like never before. Collectors often dream of discovering one of these rare 1940 wheat pennies in an old coin jar, a forgotten drawer, or tucked away in a family collection. It's not impossible. Many rare pennies have been found in the most unexpected places, quietly waiting for someone to notice their hidden value. The coin market for Lincoln Wheat Pennies remains strong today. With their connection to American history and their simple yet meaningful design, they are often the first coins that new collectors chase after. But among all dates, the 1940 stands out for its historical timing. It sits right before the U.S. entered World War II, marking the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. Holding a 1940 Lincoln penny is like holding a story. Every nick and scratch could have come from a wartime pocket, a store counter, or a soldier's keepsake. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of the people who lived through that moment in history. For those who have inherited old coin collections, the 1940 wheat penny might just be sitting there, unnoticed. The best thing to do is to look closely, inspect the date, and check for mint marks or doubling. What looks like an ordinary coin could, in fact, be one of the few that are worth an astonishing fortune. Collectors and historians alike admire how such a small piece of metal can hold so much meaning. The combination of craftsmanship, history, and rarity makes the 1940 penny an unforgettable piece of numismatic art. Numismatists often say that a coin's true value lies not only in its price but in the story it tells. And the 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny tells a story of perseverance, unity, and pride in craftsmanship, a story engraved forever in copper. Imagine how many of these coins passed through generations, how many times they were exchanged in acts of everyday life, and how few have survived untouched to this day. It's this rarity that gives them such incredible worth today. Today, collectors scour auctions and online listings searching for those special 1940 pennies graded in perfect mint state condition. And when one appears, flawless, red-toned, and gleaming, it often becomes the centerpiece of a serious collection. Each time one of these coins surfaces, it reignites excitement in the coin collecting world. The 1940 penny, despite being over 8 decades old, continues to inspire wonder, curiosity, and admiration. Every collector dreams of that one perfect find, the coin that turns a casual hobby into a life-changing discovery. And sometimes, it happens with a coin as humble as a 1-cent piece. The beauty of coin collecting lies in these small miracles, the idea that even the simplest coin can hold untold value and history. It's what makes the search so thrilling and the stories so unforgettable. So, the next time you look through your change or an old family coin album, take a closer look at those pennies. You might just be holding a treasure from 1940, a piece of American history that survived the test of time. Remember, every coin has a story, and the 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny's story is one of heritage, endurance, and hidden value waiting to be rediscovered. And when it comes to value, certain rare 1940 Lincoln Wheat Pennies, especially those in exceptional condition or bearing rare mint errors, have stunned collectors by reaching extraordinary prices. One such rare coin has been valued at an astonishing $475,000. You think you might have a 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny? Make sure to comment below with details about your coin, and our channel will help you find out more about it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin stories like this one. And make sure to like this video and leave a comment so we can help you discover the hidden treasure in your collection. Top 2. In the early years of the 1940s, America stood on the edge of transformation. The country was still recovering from the Great Depression, and storm clouds of World War II were gathering overseas. Yet, amidst this uncertainty, something small but enduring was being created in the U.S. Mint, an unassuming copper coin that would go on to tell a story of history, craftsmanship, and unexpected value. This was the 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that seemed ordinary at first glance but has since become one of the most fascinating pieces in American numismatic history. The 1941 Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny holds a special place in the hearts of collectors, not only because of its age but because of what it represents, a nation standing strong on the brink of global change. That tiny coin carried the face of one of America's greatest presidents, Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of courage and unity during times of hardship. For many, it wasn't just a coin, it was a reminder of resilience. The obverse of the 1941 Lincoln penny features the familiar and timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. His design had already become an American classic, and by 1941, it was deeply loved by the public. The image of Lincoln with his solemn expression, facing right, embodies wisdom and leadership, traits that were especially admired as the world once again headed toward conflict. Turn the coin over, and you'll see two beautifully curved stalks of wheat flanking the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above, the Latin phrase e pluribus unum reminds us of unity, from many, one. It's a design that captures America's agricultural roots and the strength of the common people. Every detail of the coin's design connects to the nation's ideals of growth, unity, and progress. The 1941 wheat penny was struck at 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, while those from Denver carry a small d, and those from San Francisco are marked with an S. Each mint had its own production numbers and slight variations, making certain issues more desirable to collectors. In total, hundreds of millions of these coins were minted, yet only a small number have survived in pristine condition. At first glance, it may seem like such a coin couldn't possibly be rare. But here's where the story gets exciting. Some of these 1941 Lincoln pennies have special characteristics, striking errors, or exceptional preservation that make them incredibly valuable today. It's those hidden differences that turn a common penny into a collector's dream. During 1941, the U.S. Mint was operating at full speed, preparing for wartime production and producing enormous quantities of coins. With such high output, mistakes occasionally slipped through the cracks. These minting errors are what collectors now search for relentlessly. Double dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks are among the most desirable types. One of the most famous 1941 errors is the double die obverse. In this variety, the inscriptions, especially the date and the word liberty, appear slightly doubled under magnification. This effect happened when the coin die shifted slightly during the engraving process, creating a fascinating visual anomaly. Today, such coins can sell for astonishing amounts depending on their condition. Another intriguing variation is the repunched mint mark, found on some Denver and San Francisco issues. When mint workers hand-punched mint marks onto dies, they occasionally misaligned the punch and had to strike it again. This created a faint shadow effect, barely visible to the naked eye but thrilling for collectors. These small details add personality to each coin, transforming it into a unique artifact. The 1941 wheat penny was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a composition that would soon change as the war demanded metals for ammunition and supplies. Just a year later, in 1942 and 1943, the U.S. Mint began experimenting with different metals, even creating the famous 1943 steel penny. That makes the 1941 copper penny one of the last before wartime adjustments altered America's coins forever. You've ever held a 1941 Lincoln penny, you've held a piece of pre-war America, a symbol of a moment just before the country entered one of the most defining chapters of its history. Every scratch, mark, and gleam on its surface tells a story of the people who once used it. Collectors today value the 1941 penny not only for its design and history but for its enduring beauty when found in high grades. A coin that has remained uncirculated since its minting, showing full luster and sharp detail, is considered a gem. Such coins are few, as most circulated heavily for decades before anyone thought to save them. Over time, the color of copper changes, and collectors classify these shades with special terms: red, red-brown, and brown. The rarest and most prized 1941 pennies retain their full red luster, glowing like polished copper under light. Finding one of these in perfect condition is a dream for any numismatist. While the Philadelphia Mint struck the most 1941 pennies, those from San Francisco and Denver are often more sought after in higher grades due to their lower mintages. But regardless of origin, what truly determines a coin's worth is its condition, rarity of variety, and historical allure. The legacy of the 1941 penny is powerful. It represents a snapshot of America's transition from peace to war, from recovery to strength. Many of these coins may have passed through the hands of factory workers, farmers, soldiers, and families doing their best to build their future. Imagine, just for a moment, the journey of a 1941 penny. It might have been used to buy a newspaper reporting on the events in Europe, or perhaps dropped into a young child's savings jar. It could have been a lucky penny carried by someone heading off to serve their country. That single coin could have traveled across generations, quietly accumulating value and meaning. Some collectors today hunt for 1941 pennies with special errors or proof-like qualities, coins that somehow came out of the mint sharper and more polished than the rest. These are rare finds, often cherished as masterpieces of minting precision. There's also something poetic about how a small copper penny from over 80 years ago can still capture so much attention. It's proof that history doesn't have to be locked in books, it can live right in the palm of your hand. When you think about it, every 1941 Lincoln penny is a silent storyteller. It carries whispers of a nation preparing for change, of ordinary lives during extraordinary times, and of craftsmanship that has stood the test of decades. Collectors all over the world still chase this coin, comparing shades of copper, searching for mint marks, and inspecting surfaces for hidden details. It's more than a hobby. It's a passion fueled by history and discovery. Many people don't realize they might already own a valuable 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny. Some of these coins have been sitting quietly in drawers, inherited from grandparents, or resting in old coin jars, waiting to be rediscovered. The excitement of finding one of these valuable pieces is indescribable. You look down, see that familiar Lincoln portrait, and realize that what you're holding might be worth far more than a single cent for those who collect. The 1941 penny serves as both an introduction to the world of coin collecting and a reminder that even the most common objects can hold rare stories. It's a connection between the past and present that keeps enthusiasts searching, learning, and sharing their finds. Collectors who understand grading know that a perfectly preserved 1941 penny, graded MS67 or higher, can command breathtaking prices at auction. These top-grade coins, with their deep red shine and flawless surfaces, are prized trophies for any serious collector. After more than 8 decades, the 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny remains one of the most beloved and iconic coins in American history. Its charm lies in its simplicity, its resilience, and the memories it carries from an era long gone but never forgotten. And among these small treasures, there exist a few that stand out above the rest, those rare, near-perfect specimens that astonish collectors and historians alike. One such extraordinary example of the 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny has been valued at an incredible $470,000. You think you might have a 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny? Take a close look and share your discovery in the comments below so our channel can help you identify its details and possible value. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating coin stories and guides. And make sure to like this video and comment below so we can help you uncover the hidden history in your coin collection. Top 3. In the year 1942, the United States stood at a turning point in history. The world was deep in the chaos of World War II, and America had officially entered the conflict after the attack on Pearl Harbor. It was a time when every factory, every worker, and every resource was focused on supporting the war effort. Yet, even in those turbulent times, the United States Mint continued its quiet and steady work, producing coins that would circulate through the hands of soldiers, families, and everyday citizens. Among those coins was the 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny, a small yet powerful symbol of American endurance and hope. The 1942 Lincoln 1-cent coin may seem like an ordinary copper penny, but it holds a story richer than most people realize. It reflects a nation's determination, a moment of transition, and a glimpse into how even a simple piece of currency can carry history in its shine and texture. On the obverse side, you see the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, noble, steady, and thoughtful. The design, created by Victor David Brenner in 1909, had by then become one of the most recognizable portraits in American coinage. Lincoln's profile was more than just an image, it represented freedom, leadership, and unity. His gaze forward symbolized progress, perfectly fitting for a time when America was looking toward victory and peace. The reverse side of the 1942 wheat penny carries the same beloved wheat ears design that collectors know so well. Two curved stalks of wheat gracefully frame the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above them rests the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. It's a design that reminds us of the country's agricultural roots and the unity of its people during times of challenge. The 1942 penny was struck at 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia bore no mint mark, while those from Denver were marked with a small d, and those from San Francisco carried an S. Together, these mints produced hundreds of millions of pennies to keep up with wartime circulation. But despite their massive numbers, only a small fraction of these coins survive today in pristine, collector-worthy condition. This year, 1942, was especially significant for coinage because it was the last full year the U.S. Mint used copper before switching to steel in 1943 due to wartime shortages. Copper was needed for ammunition, shell casings, and vital military equipment. Because of this, the 1942 penny became the last of its kind, a final chapter before the iconic steel cents took over. Each 1942 wheat penny was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a warm, reddish glow when freshly minted. Over time, oxidation darkened many of these coins to deep brown shades, yet those that retain their brilliant red luster are prized by collectors today. That reddish brilliance is what turns an ordinary coin into a showpiece. The story of the 1942 penny is not just about history, it's also about hidden treasures and remarkable mistakes. During such high minting activity, small errors were inevitable, and it's these minting anomalies that make certain 1942 pennies extraordinarily valuable today. Collectors are always on the lookout for these tiny details that can transform a common penny into a once-in-a-lifetime find. Among the most famous error varieties is the 1942 double-die obverse. In this version, the date and inscriptions appear slightly doubled when viewed under magnification. This subtle but distinctive doubling makes the coin stand out instantly to trained eyes, and such pieces are highly coveted in the numismatic world. There are also examples of 1942 pennies struck off-center, where part of the design spills off the coin's edge, leaving blank metal on one side. These off-center errors occurred when the blank planchet was misaligned during striking, and each one is unique, no two look the same. The rarity of these mistakes adds a special kind of charm for collectors. In addition to striking errors, the condition or grade of a 1942 penny determines much of its value. Coins that have been preserved in mint state, with no signs of wear and full luster, are far rarer than the millions that circulated through daily life. It's these mint state coins that command the highest prices at auctions. Collectors often describe these uncirculated examples as time travelers, perfect pieces of history that look exactly as they did when they left the mint over 8 decades ago. Holding one feels like stepping back into 1942, when the air was filled with both uncertainty and hope for a brighter future. Proof versions of the 1942 penny also exist, and they are true works of art. These coins were struck with specially polished dies to create mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. Proof coins were not meant for circulation but were sold to collectors, and today they are among the most beautiful and sought-after examples of the Lincoln Wheat series. The 1942 penny also carries emotional weight. It represents a time when Americans at home saved coins, rationed food, and collected scrap metal to support their troops overseas. Every penny counted. In many ways, it became a symbol of shared sacrifice and unity. When we think about how many of these coins passed through hardworking hands during those years, it's easy to imagine the stories they could tell. Maybe one bought a cup of coffee for a soldier on leave, or was dropped into a child's piggy bank as a promise for the future. These little coins witnessed the resilience of a nation. Today, the 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny continues to inspire fascination among coin enthusiasts. It's not just about value, it's about connection. Collectors admire the craftsmanship, the historical context, and the endurance of a design that survived through decades of change. Even though millions were made, only a handful remain in exceptional condition. Some have been tucked away in collections for generations, carefully protected from time's wear. When one of these flawless coins surfaces, it becomes the highlight of any numismatic auction. The most desirable examples are those graded at the highest mint state levels, where the color remains bright red and every line of Lincoln's portrait stands sharp and clear. These coins are the definition of perfection, and collectors are willing to pay incredible sums to own one. Enduring appeal of the 1942 penny lies in its blend of history, art, and nostalgia. It stands as a bridge between two eras, the last of the pre-war copper pennies and the dawn of America's wartime coinage experiments. Its beauty and simplicity continue to capture the hearts of those who study and collect coins. Even more fascinating are the rare transitional pieces, pennies that might have been struck on experimental planchets during the changeover to steel. These ultra-rare variants are almost mythical in the coin world, representing moments when the mint was testing materials and processes during a time of global turmoil. To hold a 1942 penny is to hold a story. It's not just a coin, it's a witness to history, a silent companion to a nation in motion. Every detail, the soft shine, the wheat stalks, the familiar face of Lincoln, reminds us of endurance, unity, and hope. Collectors and historians alike treasure this coin because it captures the American spirit so perfectly. It's a symbol of a people who worked, dreamed, and persevered despite the challenges around them. Many families still discover 1942 wheat pennies in old boxes, jars, or inherited coin collections. For some, these finds become gateways into the fascinating world of numismatics, where every coin has a tale and every detail matters. The excitement of finding a 1942 penny with rare features is something only collectors truly understand. It's like uncovering a hidden gem, an unexpected piece of history that turns an ordinary day into something unforgettable. And while most of these coins are worth modest amounts, there are a few that reach truly astonishing heights in the collector's market. Perfectly preserved specimens, or those with dramatic minting errors, have fetched prices that leave even experienced collectors in awe. One such rare and pristine example of the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny has been valued at an astounding $465,000. You have a 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Take a close look at it. You might just be holding a piece of history worth far more than you imagine. Comment below with details about your coin, and our channel will help you learn more about it. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing coin stories and discoveries, and make sure to like this video and leave a comment so we can help you uncover the hidden value in your own collection. Top 4. The year was 1946. The war had ended, soldiers were returning home, and America was entering a new era of hope and rebuilding. Across the country, the sound of factories shifted from producing weapons to making everyday goods once again. The nation was healing, families were reuniting, and in the midst of this post-war renewal, the United States Mint struck a simple yet powerful coin, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny. It was more than just a piece of copper, it was a symbol of recovery, prosperity, and a new beginning for millions of Americans. The Lincoln Wheat Penny had already become a cherished part of American life by 1946. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it had remained a beloved coin through wars, depressions, and decades of change. By the time 1946 arrived, the design by Victor David Brenner was iconic, and every American recognized that familiar portrait of Lincoln looking to the right, calm and resolute. The obverse side of the 1946 penny features Lincoln's distinguished profile, surrounded by the words "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1946 to the right. It's a design that embodies strength and faith, the values that guided the nation through hardship. Brenner's depiction of Lincoln is not just a portrait, it's a symbol of character and leadership etched in copper. Turning the coin over reveals one of the most classic reverses in American coinage history, the wheat ears design. Two curved stalks of wheat border the words 1 cent and United States of America, while the motto E pluribus unum arches gracefully above. This design pays tribute to the nation's agricultural roots and to the hard-working spirit of the people who built the country. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, while those struck in Denver bear a small D below the date, and those from San Francisco carry an S. Each mint produced millions of pennies, yet among them are rare varieties and exceptional specimens that collectors today consider priceless. One of the remarkable aspects of the 1946 penny is its return to a full copper composition after the wartime change of 1943, when steel cents replaced copper due to military demand for the metal. By 1946, copper had returned, symbolizing the end of wartime rationing and the beginning of economic normalcy. Each 1946 penny consists of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that warm, rich red tone that collectors admire. Over time, oxidation darkens many of these coins to brown, but uncirculated examples with full red luster still glow with an almost golden light, a window into America's optimism after years of sacrifice. The story of the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny isn't just about beauty, it's about the stories behind the coins themselves. These pennies circulated in a country that was changing rapidly, where every cent mattered and every purchase told a story of recovery. They passed through the hands of veterans returning home, mothers shopping for their families, and children saving coins in piggy banks for brighter futures. Even though millions were made, the allure of the 1946 penny lies in the few that survived in flawless condition or were struck with rare minting errors. These mistakes, often unseen by the naked eye, are what drive collectors to search tirelessly for hidden treasures in everyday collections. One of the most sought-after varieties of the 1946 penny is the repunched mint mark error. On some Denver and San Francisco issues, mint workers had to manually punch the mint mark into each die, and sometimes they struck it more than once, creating a faint doubling effect. Under magnification, these overlapping letters stand out clearly, and collectors are willing to pay handsomely for such a unique piece. Another fascinating variety is the off-center strike, where the coin's design appears shifted, leaving part of the blank planchet exposed. Each off-center error is different, and the greater the misalignment, the rarer and more desirable the coin becomes. Collectors also cherish the 1946 wheat pennies struck in proof form. These were special coins made for collectors, polished to perfection with mirror-like fields and sharp, frosted details. Though produced in very limited numbers, their artistry and brilliance make them some of the most spectacular examples of mid-century American minting. The 1946 penny represents more than just a coin. It marks a turning point in U.S. history. The country had come through the toughest of times, and this small piece of copper became a symbol of renewal. It was a penny of peace, minted in the first year after the end of World War II, embodying hope and perseverance. Many of these coins were set aside by soldiers returning home as good luck charms, reminders of the country they fought for. Others found their way into circulation, carrying the silent stories of a nation rebuilding itself. Today, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny remains one of the most collectible coins of the series. For beginners, it offers a glimpse into history. For advanced collectors, it represents a hunt for perfection. And for everyone in between, it stands as a link to the everyday people who lived through one of the most defining periods of the 20th century. The market for these pennies remains strong, especially for high-grade examples. Coins graded mint state red by professional grading services can fetch thousands at auction, while those with rare errors or exceptional detail can be worth far more. One of the most astonishing aspects of coin collecting is how condition transforms value. A circulated 1946 penny might only be worth its face value, but the same coin preserved in immaculate, untouched condition can command enormous sums. That's why collectors often dream of finding one hidden away in an old collection or dusty drawer. Every now and then, discoveries of rare 1946 wheat pennies make headlines. These stories remind people that even the smallest coins can hold extraordinary worth. It's this mystery and excitement that keep the passion for coin collecting alive. The beauty of the 1946 penny lies not only in its shine but in its symbolism. It's a coin born from a period of change, one that represents resilience, victory, and the promise of a better tomorrow. Its simplicity holds depth, and its copper surface carries the heartbeat of post-war America. Imagine finding one of these coins today in near-perfect condition, with its red luster gleaming just as it did when first struck. It's as if history itself were preserved in your hand, a tangible link to a nation's rebirth. Collectors love to say that every coin tells a story, and the 1946 penny tells one of hope restored. It speaks of soldiers returning home, of children running through neighborhoods newly at peace, and of a nation looking forward once again. Even now, over 70 years later, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny continues to capture the imagination of collectors around the world. Whether for its artistry, its historical meaning, or its hidden potential for value, this coin remains an American classic, and among the countless examples that exist, there are a few so rare, so pristine, and so perfect that they stand above the rest. These are the coins that have amazed experts and collectors alike, tiny masterpieces of copper and craftsmanship. Some of these extraordinary 1946 wheat pennies, with exceptional preservation and rare minting features, have been valued at breathtaking prices in auctions and private sales. One such magnificent coin has reached a value of an astounding $445,000. You think you might have a 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny? Take a moment to look closely. It could be one of those special pieces with history and value beyond imagination. Comment below with details about your coin, and our channel will help you learn more about it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating coin stories, and make sure to like this video and leave a comment so we can help you uncover the hidden treasures in your own collection. Top 5. In the year 1948, America stood on the threshold of a bright new era. The echoes of World War II were slowly fading, soldiers had returned home, and the nation was experiencing growth and prosperity unlike ever before. It was an age of invention, optimism, and change. Gas was cheap, families were moving into newly built homes, and the spirit of progress filled the air. Amidst this period of transformation, one humble copper coin found its way into the hands of millions, the 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny. What seemed like an ordinary cent at the time has, over the decades, become a small but powerful piece of American history, and for some lucky collectors, a fortune in disguise. The Lincoln Wheat Penny had already been in circulation for nearly 4 decades by 1948. Its story began in 1909 when the United States Mint introduced it to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Sculptor Victor David Brenner's design made history. It was the first U.S. coin to bear the image of a real person. Brenner chose Lincoln not just for his presidency, but for his moral strength, wisdom, and humanity. By 1948, the coin's design had become a familiar sight, a symbol of trust and national pride. The obverse side, the 1948 penny features the beloved profile of Abraham Lincoln, his face turned right, with every detail of Brenner's craftsmanship still crisp and timeless. Above his head reads the national motto, "In God We Trust," while the word liberty rests to his left, and the date 1948 appears neatly to his right. Every stroke of the engraving captures the dignity and strength of a man whose leadership shaped the nation forever. The reverse of the coin tells another part of the story, a celebration of America's agricultural heritage and unity. 2 stylized wheat stalks curve upward on both sides, framing the bold words 1 cent and United States of America. Above, the Latin phrase e pluribus unum translates to out of many, one, a statement of unity that perfectly reflected the spirit of post-war America. Those 2 wheat stalks would later give the coin its nickname, the Wheat Penny. The 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced at 3 U.S. Mint facilities, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint coins carried no mint mark, the Denver coins were marked with a small d below the date, and the San Francisco pennies featured an S. Each mint struck millions of coins that year, but as collectors know, not all coins are created equal. Some were struck more sharply, preserved better, or contained minting quirks that would later turn them into treasures. The coin was made from the classic wheat penny composition, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This blend gave the coin its rich reddish-orange color, one that, when freshly struck, gleamed like a newly polished penny should. Over time, exposure to air and moisture caused most of these coins to darken to brown, but those that retained their original fiery red luster are today the most coveted by collectors. The late 1940s were an interesting time for coin collectors. The mint had stopped using steel for pennies after 1943, and copper was back in full use. People had begun to realize that small details, like the shape of a mint mark or a faint doubling of a letter, could mean big differences in value. That understanding set the stage for the 1948 wheat penny to become one of the most carefully examined coins of the decade. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1948 penny is its connection to minting variations and errors. While most coins struck that year were ordinary, a few came out of the presses with unique imperfections that make them incredibly valuable today. Minting technology wasn't as precise then as it is now, and small mistakes, tiny differences invisible to the untrained eye, could result in rare and collectible varieties. Collectors look for the elusive double die obverse variety from 1948, where letters and numbers appear slightly doubled due to misalignment during the striking process. This doubling can be seen on Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date itself. Such coins are instantly recognizable under magnification and can command staggering prices in the coin market. Another sought-after rarity is the repunched mint mark variety, especially on 1948D and 1948S pennies. During that time, mint marks were punched onto the dies by hand, which sometimes led to multiple impressions. The result is a small D or S with shadow-like doubling that can be clearly seen with a magnifying glass, a detail that turns an everyday coin into a prized collectible. Collectors also hunt for off-center strikes, die cracks, or die breaks, errors that occur when the coin isn't perfectly aligned or the die develops fractures. These quirks make each coin unique and tell the story of its creation in a way that fascinates both historians and collectors alike. But beyond errors and varieties, condition is the ultimate factor that determines a coin's value. A heavily circulated 1948 penny, worn smooth from years of handling, might only be worth a few cents. But one preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, a mint state coin, can be worth thousands. The key lies in the luster, color, and sharpness of the details. Coins with the brightest red coloration are the most valuable. Collectors describe them using color grades like red, red-brown, and brown. Those labeled red are the most sought after because they appear just as they did the day they left the mint, their surfaces glowing with brilliance and life. Proof versions of the 1948 wheat penny also exist. These were struck specifically for collectors using specially polished dies and planchets, resulting in a mirror-like finish and razor-sharp details. Proof pennies from that year were not intended for circulation, and finding one today in perfect condition is like holding a miniature masterpiece in copper. The 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny holds a special place in American history not just because of its beauty, but because of the time it represents. It was minted in an era of optimism, when America was growing, rebuilding, and redefining itself. This penny passed through the hands of veterans, homemakers, factory workers, and children. It jingled in pockets, sat in piggy banks, and was used to buy candy, stamps, and newspapers. Each one carries the fingerprints of a post-war generation. As the decades passed, many of these coins disappeared from circulation. Some were lost, melted, or simply worn away by time. Yet a few survived, carefully preserved by collectors who understood their significance. Those rare survivors are now among the most valuable examples of the Wheat Penny series. Holding a 1948 wheat penny is like holding a piece of America's golden age, a reminder of a time when hope and progress filled every corner of the nation. It symbolizes resilience, renewal, and the enduring image of one of the nation's greatest leaders. Numismatists often say that every coin tells a story, and the story of the 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of strength and legacy. It's the story of a coin born in the shadow of war, circulating through a time of peace, and now standing as a cherished collectible that connects generations of Americans. When you study its details, the wheat stalks, the inscriptions, the proud face of Lincoln, you realize that this tiny coin carries far more than its face value. It carries the spirit of a nation that never stopped moving forward. Collectors around the world treasure the 1948 wheat penny for its charm, its design, and the possibilities hidden in its copper surface. Each coin holds the potential for discovery, the thrill of finding that one perfect example that has survived untouched by time. Even after more than 70 years, the 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny continues to inspire curiosity, passion, and wonder among coin enthusiasts. It reminds us that even the smallest pieces of history can hold the greatest value, both sentimental and monetary, and among the rarest and most exceptional examples ever discovered. One 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny has been valued at an incredible $410,000. You think you might have a 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny in your collection? Tell us about it in the comments below so our channel can help you discover its true worth. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating coin stories, and make sure to like this video and leave a comment so we can help you uncover the hidden treasures waiting in your own coin collection. Top 6. The year was 1950, a time when America was filled with optimism, growth, and change. The dark clouds of war had faded, the economy was booming, and families across the country were settling into a new era of prosperity. The world was shifting rapidly, yet some things remained constant, like the steady production of the humble Lincoln Wheat Penny. That year, the United States Mint struck the 1950 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a small copper piece that would come to represent both history and hidden value in the hands of collectors decades later. The Lincoln Wheat Penny had already become a cornerstone of American coinage by 1950. Designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, it had been in circulation for over 40 years and was beloved by the public for its timeless design and tribute to one of America's greatest presidents. The 1950 penny may seem ordinary at first glance, but beneath its copper surface lies a fascinating story of artistry, rarity, and enduring worth. The obverse side features the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, facing right with a calm and noble expression. Around him are the inscriptions "In God We Trust" across the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1950 to the right. Brenner's portrait captures not just the image of Lincoln but the essence of his leadership and humanity. It's a design that has stood the test of time, admired by collectors for its elegance and symbolism. Flip the coin over, and you're greeted by one of the most beautiful reverses in U.S. coin history, the wheat ears design. Two stalks of wheat curve inward, framing the bold inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. Above them lies the phrase "E pluribus unum," which means "out of many, one." It's a powerful reminder of unity, resilience, and the agricultural strength that built America. The 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, while the Denver issues bear a small D below the date, and those from San Francisco carry an S. Each mint produced millions of coins, yet despite their high mintage, certain examples of the 1950 penny have become rare treasures worth astonishing sums today. By 1950, the United States Mint had perfected its coin production methods, but no minting process is ever flawless. Tiny variations, imperfections, and errors slipped through, small mistakes that would later become some of the most sought-after varieties in the world of numismatics. Collectors today eagerly search for these elusive examples hidden in old collections and forgotten jars. The 1950 wheat penny was made from the classic pre-1982 composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that unmistakable reddish tone when freshly minted. Over time, oxidation can turn these coins a deep chocolate brown, but those that retain their original red luster are considered truly special. That fiery color represents purity, preservation, and rarity. Even though the 1950 penny circulated widely, a few exceptional examples were carefully preserved, perhaps by collectors or simply by chance, and those are the ones that command incredible prices today. Coins that have never been used, known as mint state, show every detail of Lincoln's face, every grain of wheat, and every letter perfectly intact. One of the most thrilling aspects of coin collecting is the hunt for errors, and the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny offers its fair share of these fascinating misstrikes. Among the most famous are double die varieties, where the inscriptions or date appear slightly doubled due to die misalignment during production. Under magnification, this doubling is clear, and such coins can be worth a small fortune. Another valuable variety includes the repunched mint mark, or RPM. This error occurred when mint workers manually stamped the mint mark onto the die more than once, causing a faint shadow or doubling of the letter D or S. Collectors adore these quirks. They add personality and uniqueness to each coin. There are also off-center strikes, broad strikes, and die cracks found among 1950 pennies. Each of these anomalies adds to the mystique of the coin and to the excitement of those who search for rare variations. A single small flaw in minting can turn an everyday penny into a collector's dream. The 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny also carries historical significance. It was minted at a time when America was stepping into a new decade filled with technological progress and cultural shifts. The post-war generation was growing up, the suburbs were expanding, and every penny was part of a story of ambition and change. Imagine how many of these coins passed through the hands of families in the 1950s, used to buy newspapers, candy, or cups of coffee that cost just a few cents. Each penny witnessed moments of everyday American life, quietly circulating through the heart of a nation in motion. For collectors, the emotional connection to these coins is just as powerful as their monetary value. Holding a 1950 wheat penny is like holding a piece of the mid-century American spirit, a reminder of hard work, community, and pride. As decades passed, millions of these coins were lost, melted down, or worn beyond recognition. But those that survived in pristine condition are now considered treasures. High-grade examples, those graded mint state red, shine with a brilliance that few other coins from that era can match. When such coins appear at auctions, they often spark bidding wars among collectors who recognize their rarity. Even minor differences in color, surface quality, or sharpness of strike can mean the difference between a few dollars and thousands. What makes the 1950 penny so captivating is that it bridges the gap between the old and the modern. It's a coin from a time when craftsmanship still met mass production, when every strike carried the precision of tradition yet served the needs of a modern economy. Numismatists often describe the Wheat Penny series as the soul of American coinage. The 1950 edition, in particular, embodies that soul perfectly, a balance of beauty, history, and everyday value. While most 1950 Lincoln pennies remain common, the rarest examples are those preserved in flawless condition or with striking errors. These coins have fetched astonishing amounts in the collector's market, proving that even a humble 1-cent coin can hold the value of a treasure chest. The fascination with these coins has never faded. In fact, as the years go by, collectors continue to rediscover and appreciate the artistry and meaning behind the 1950 wheat penny. It's more than a coin, it's a chapter of America's story, minted in copper. To this day, enthusiasts search through old rolls of pennies, hoping to find that one gleaming 1950 piece that might have been forgotten for decades. Sometimes, these discoveries happen in the most unexpected places: a grandparent's coin jar, a family heirloom, or even a random change drawer. The thrill of such discoveries keeps the spirit of coin collecting alive. Every collector dreams of finding that hidden gem, and with the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny, that dream is very much alive. This coin continues to teach us that even the smallest pieces of history can carry great value, both sentimental and monetary. It reminds us that what seems ordinary today could be extraordinary tomorrow. So, if you ever come across a 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny, don't rush to spend it. Take a moment to study its details, its color, and its mint mark. You might be holding something far more special than you realize. Among the millions produced, there are only a few that have achieved legendary status, coins so well preserved or so uniquely struck that they stand as masterpieces of the U.S. Mint's craftsmanship. These extraordinary examples are the pride of collectors everywhere, and one such rare and flawless 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny has been valued at an astonishing $400,000. You think you might have a 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny? Comment below with details about your coin, and our channel will help you find out more about it. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and make sure to like this video and leave a comment so we can help you uncover the hidden treasures in your collection. Top 7. The year was 1951, a time when America was rebuilding, thriving, and embracing a new post-war optimism. The streets were filled with the hum of new cars, radios played tunes of hope, and every coin that passed through a hand told a story of progress. Among those coins was the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a small copper treasure that carried the face of one of America's greatest leaders, Abraham Lincoln. This coin, though just a single cent, has become a timeless piece of history, a symbol of enduring value, and for some lucky collectors, a ticket to unexpected fortune. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was already a familiar sight by 1951. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, it had become a beloved part of American currency. Designed by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, its simple yet powerful imagery made it one of the most admired coins ever struck by the United States Mint. The 1951 issue continued that proud legacy with elegance, precision, and purpose. The obverse, or front side, of the coin proudly displays the dignified portrait of Abraham Lincoln. His profile, facing right, reflects strength and humility, as though his eyes look toward the future. Surrounding his image are the inscriptions "In God We Trust" across the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1951 to the right. Brenner's initials, discreetly placed beneath Lincoln's shoulder, remind us of the artist who captured the soul of a nation in copper. Turning to the reverse, the wheat penny design reveals its iconic beauty. Two wheat stalks curve gracefully on each side, encircling the bold inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. Above them rests the Latin phrase "e pluribus unum," meaning "out of many, one." It's a phrase that resonates deeply, symbolizing the unity of a nation emerging stronger after decades of challenges and change. The 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted at 3 different facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, which struck coins without a mint mark, the Denver Mint, marked with a small d, and the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S. Each of these facilities contributed millions of pennies that year, yet only a handful of special examples would go on to become highly valuable collector's items. Made primarily from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the 1951 wheat penny carries a rich reddish-brown hue when well preserved. Over the years, exposure to the elements has darkened many of them to deep brown, but those rare coins that retain their original fiery red luster are the true jewels of the series. That gleaming red surface is a hallmark of beauty, quality, and rarity that collectors cherish. The early 1950s were a fascinating time in American coinage history. Technology was improving, minting machines were more precise, yet human involvement still played a significant role. That combination of skill and imperfection created opportunities for minting errors, small anomalies that would later become numismatic goldmines. Among the 1951 wheat pennies, some of the most valuable are error coins. These include doubled dies, where certain inscriptions like Liberty or the date appear doubled due to a slight misalignment during striking. Others display repunched mint marks, or RPMs, where the mint mark D or S was punched more than once, creating a ghost-like doubling effect that collectors find irresistible. Off-center strikes are another rarity from that year. Coins that were not properly centered in the press, leaving part of the design missing or shifted to one side. Each of these coins tells a story of the minting process gone slightly wrong, transforming a common cent into a collector's dream. Beyond errors, the condition of the coin itself plays a massive role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale, from well-worn examples that circulated for decades to pristine, uncirculated mint state specimens that have survived untouched since the day they were struck. The higher the grade, the more breathtaking the coin, and the higher its worth. Mint state coins graded MS-65 or higher exhibit sharp details, glowing color, and a satiny sheen that makes them stand out. The 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny in such a condition is a true work of art, showcasing Brenner's design in all its glory. These coins, especially those with the coveted red coloration, are highly sought after at major coin auctions. Collectors also look for proofs, special coins struck for presentation or collecting rather than circulation. Proof 1951 wheat pennies were made with extra care, using polished dies and planchets, resulting in mirror-like surfaces and stunning detail. These coins are rare, beautiful, and valuable pieces of American numismatic art, but perhaps what makes the 1951 wheat penny so appealing is not just its rarity, it's the story behind it. Imagine the millions of Americans who used these coins in their daily lives during the early 1950s. A penny could still buy a piece of candy, a newspaper, or go towards saving for something bigger. Each coin witnessed the heartbeat of a changing nation, passing through the hands of dreamers, workers, and families. Each Lincoln Wheat Penny carries a sense of connection, a link to the people and the history of the time. From the laughter of children trading pennies for gum to the careful saving habits of post-war families, these coins became part of America's story, 1 cent at a time. As years passed, many 1951 wheat pennies disappeared from circulation, melted down or lost forever. Yet, a few were carefully preserved, perhaps unknowingly, by people who saw something special in their shine. Decades later, those preserved pieces now stand as symbols of value and rarity. Collectors today scour coin rolls, estate sales, and old collections, hoping to stumble upon one of these rare gems. The idea that a coin once worth a single cent could now be valued in the hundreds of thousands is what makes coin collecting such an exciting journey. The 1951 wheat penny represents a perfect blend of history, art, and rarity. It's a reminder that beauty and worth can often be found in the smallest of things, and that even a penny can carry immense value, if preserved and appreciated. For anyone holding on to old pennies, especially those from the 1940s and 1950s, it's worth taking a closer look. A small mint mark, a doubled letter, or a touch of red brilliance could mean the difference between an ordinary coin and an extraordinary treasure. The coin market continues to recognize the significance of this issue. When rare varieties or near-perfect examples of the 1951 wheat penny appear at auctions, collectors compete fiercely to own a piece of that history. These bidding battles often end with astonishing results, showing just how much passion the numismatic world holds for such coins. Beyond its physical appearance, the 1951 wheat penny is a coin of emotion, a coin that tells of America's resilience, its craftsmanship, and its pride. It reminds us of a time when every cent mattered, when saving coins in a jar was a family tradition, and when the value of hard work was measured 1 penny at a time. These stories that make coin collecting so much more than a hobby. It's a connection to our past, to the people who came before us, and to the moments that shaped the nation. And the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of those timeless pieces that keep that connection alive. So, the next time you come across an old penny, take a closer look, especially if it's from 1951. Examine its color, its details, and its mint mark. You might just be holding a treasure from history without even realizing it. Among the millions minted that year, only a precious few have achieved legendary status. These coins, perfectly preserved or bearing rare errors, have become priceless gems in the world of numismatics. And one such remarkable 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny has been valued at an extraordinary $395,000. You think you have a 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny or another rare coin? Comment below and tell us about it so our channel can help you discover its true value. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating coin stories, and make sure to like this video and leave a comment so we can help you uncover the hidden treasures waiting in your collection. Top 8. In the early 1950s, America was alive with hope, innovation, and the spirit of rebuilding after the great trials of the previous decade. The economy was booming, families were growing, and a new generation was beginning to shape the country's future. It was during this vibrant period that the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted, a small copper coin carrying not only the face of Abraham Lincoln but also the story of an era defined by determination, craftsmanship, and quiet value. The Lincoln Wheat Penny had already become a symbol of American history by that time. Since its debut in 1909, the coin had captured the hearts of collectors and citizens alike. Designed by Victor David Brenner to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the design reflected simplicity and reverence. By 1952, the coin's legacy was well established, yet each year's issue still brought its own distinctive charm. The obverse of the 1952 penny continues to showcase Brenner's timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln. His thoughtful gaze, slightly turned to the right, conveys a sense of wisdom and quiet strength. Above his head is the nation's enduring motto, "In God We Trust." To the left, the word liberty reminds us of the ideals Lincoln defended, and to the right sits the date 1952, marking a specific point in the story of American coinage. Flip the coin over, and you're met with the elegant simplicity of the wheat ears reverse. Two curved stalks of wheat frame the bold words 1 cent and United States of America. The Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, crowns the top of the design. This message of unity was especially meaningful in post-war America, a reminder that strength comes from togetherness. The 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia bear no mint mark, those from Denver are marked with a small d, and those from San Francisco carry an S. Each mint produced millions of these pennies, yet a small number of remarkable pieces stand out today as rare, valuable, and highly sought after by collectors. These coins were made from the same trusted composition that defined the Wheat Penny series for decades: 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. That high copper content gives the coin its distinct reddish tone, glowing like a piece of history when properly preserved. Over time, that red brilliance fades to brown, but those few coins that retain their original color are among the most coveted examples. Why 1952, minting technology had improved significantly, but perfection in coin production was still elusive. Mistakes, though rare, continued to happen, giving birth to what collectors now call error coins. These unexpected varieties often become treasures because of their uniqueness. One of the most sought-after error varieties from 1952 is the doubled die. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during production, resulting in a faint doubling effect on the date or inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust. Such errors are visible under magnification and can multiply a coin's value dramatically. Repunched mint marks are another exciting find for collectors. In 1952, mint marks were still applied manually to dies, meaning a slight misalignment could result in a shadow or doubling of the D or S. These repunched marks give each coin a distinctive personality, making them prized additions to any serious collection. There are also off-center strikes, broad strikes, and die cracks among the 1952 wheat pennies. Each of these varieties represents a unique moment in the minting process, tiny mechanical hiccups that transformed ordinary coins into extraordinary collectibles. But beyond errors in mint marks, condition plays perhaps the most important role in determining value. A 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny that has circulated for years might be worth only a few cents, but one that has been perfectly preserved since the day it was struck can command thousands. Collectors refer to these as mint state coins, graded from MS-60 to MS-70 based on their condition. Mint state coins from 1952 exhibit beautiful details: every strand of Lincoln's hair, every grain of wheat, every crisp letter fully intact. When such a coin retains its original red shine, it's referred to as mint state red or MS red, and that distinction makes all the difference in the collector's world. Proof coins were also struck in 1952, specifically for collectors. These special coins were made with polished dies and planchets, giving them mirror-like surfaces and sharp, crisp details. A proof 1952 penny can be a breathtaking example of mid-century minting artistry. The 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny also carries deep historical significance. It was produced during a decade that marked the dawn of modern America. Families were buying homes, children were playing in new neighborhoods, and the country was looking ahead to the future. Each penny minted that year passed through the hands of a generation building dreams. Imagine the countless stories these coins could tell, being dropped into a child's piggy bank, spent on a candy bar at a corner store, or tucked away in a drawer by someone who thought, maybe one day, this will be worth something. Those moments of everyday life have now become echoes of the past, preserved in the copper of the 1952 wheat penny. As years passed, millions of these coins were lost to time, worn out, melted, or forgotten. Yet, a few survived in pristine condition, tucked away safely by chance or foresight. Those survivors now stand as gleaming symbols of America's history and craftsmanship. Collectors today still cherish the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, not only for its beauty but for what it represents, a tangible link to America's past. The 1952 edition, in particular, is admired for its elegant simplicity and enduring appeal. Numismatists, coin experts, often say that every coin tells a story, and the story of the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of endurance and legacy. From the careful engraving of Lincoln's portrait to the delicate curvature of the wheat stalks, it's a design that has captivated generations. The thrill of finding a rare 1952 penny is what keeps coin collecting alive. Whether you're searching through old jars, inherited boxes, or even pocket change, there's always that hope that one day, you might uncover a coin that tells a story worth far more than its face value. When collectors discover a flawless 1952 penny or one with a rare error, the excitement is electric. These finds often make headlines in numismatic circles, with collectors competing fiercely to add them to their treasured collections. Auction houses across the country have seen remarkable examples of the 1952 wheat penny cross their stages, drawing attention for their brilliance, rarity, and stunning preservation. Even the smallest difference, a clearer strike, a richer tone, a subtle error, can make one coin worth exponentially more than another. These copper coins may seem ordinary to the untrained eye, but to collectors, they are pieces of living history. Proof that something as small as a penny can carry immense value and meaning. Over 70 years have passed since the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck, yet its allure remains strong. It continues to fascinate new generations of collectors who appreciate the artistry, heritage, and symbolism it embodies. Every 1952 wheat penny holds the potential to be more than just change. It could be a key to the past, a symbol of craftsmanship, or even a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. So, if you ever come across a 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny, don't dismiss it as just another old coin. Take a closer look, examine its mint mark, its shine, and its details. You might be holding something truly extraordinary in your hands. Among the millions of 1952 wheat pennies minted, only a few have survived in flawless condition or with rare errors that make them priceless in the eyes of collectors. These exceptional examples are the hidden jewels of American coinage. And one such rare and perfect 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny has been valued at an astonishing $390,000. You think you might have a 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny or another rare coin? Comment below with the details so our channel can help you learn more about it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing coin stories, and make sure to like this video and leave a comment so we can help you uncover the hidden treasures in your collection. Top 9. In the year 1953, America was full of hope and ambition. The world had changed drastically after World War II, and the United States stood tall as a global leader in innovation, industry, and prosperity. The streets buzzed with the sound of new cars, radios echoed the voices of optimism, and pocket change carried the symbols of national pride. Among those coins was a small yet powerful piece of history, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Though it was worth just 1 cent at the time, today it stands as one of the most fascinating coins of its era, both for its story and for its potential value to collectors. The Lincoln Wheat Penny had already been in production for over 4 decades by 1953. Since its debut in 1909, this humble coin had become an icon of American coinage. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, the beloved 16th President, Abraham Lincoln. The design celebrated honesty, unity, and progress, values that resonated deeply with the American people. On the obverse side, the 1953 penny presents a proud portrait of Lincoln facing right. His expression is calm yet determined, symbolizing leadership and moral strength. Above his head is the nation's timeless motto, "In God We Trust," reminding citizens of faith and perseverance. To his left is the word liberty, and to the right, the date 1953, marking its place in mid-century America. Every detail of Brenner's design captures the essence of Lincoln's enduring legacy. The reverse side of the coin is just as captivating. 2 stalks of wheat curve gracefully along the edges, embracing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. Above them, the Latin motto E pluribus unum translates to out of many, one. It's a phrase that defined the American spirit, many individuals forming one nation, united in strength and purpose. The wheat symbolizes prosperity and growth, a fitting tribute to the country's agricultural roots and industrious spirit. The 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted at 3 different facilities across the country: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins carry no mint mark, the Denver coins bear a small D below the date, and the San Francisco coins feature an S. Each mint struck millions of coins that year, but as collectors know, not all pennies are created equal. Some would go on to become highly sought-after rarities. Each 1953 penny was made from the classic composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a warm reddish metal blend that gave it durability and that signature copper glow. Over time, many of these coins turned brown or dark with age, but the ones that still shine bright with their original red luster are among the most prized. That fiery red surface is the mark of preservation, rarity, and care. By the early 1950s, minting technology was advancing, but the process was still partly manual, leaving room for fascinating variations and mint errors. These accidental imperfections have since become treasures for collectors who know what to look for. One of the most famous varieties from 1953 is the doubled die. This occurs when the coin's design is struck slightly out of alignment, creating a faint doubling on the date or lettering. When seen under magnification, the doubled lines are clear and mesmerizing, turning a regular penny into a numismatic prize. Another desirable error is the repunched mint mark, known to collectors as an RPM. In 1953, mint marks were hand-punched into the dies, and sometimes they were struck more than once, creating a shadow or doubling effect on the D or S. These little quirks make the coin unique and highly collectible, especially in mint condition. Off-center strikes, die cracks, and die breaks also appear among the 1953 wheat pennies. Each of these rare errors tells its own story of imperfection, proof that even the U.S. Mint's precision could still produce pieces of unpredictable beauty. For collectors, these errors are not flaws, they're one-of-a-kind signatures of history. Condition, of course, plays a critical role in determining a coin's value. A 1953 penny that has circulated for decades and shows heavy wear might be worth only a few cents, but one preserved in flawless condition can command thousands. Collectors look for coins that retain sharp details, glowing color, and smooth, untarnished surfaces. Those exceptional coins are graded as mint state, and they're often described using terms like red, red-brown, or brown, depending on how much of their original copper shine remains. The redder the coin, the rarer and more valuable it becomes. Some of the most stunning 1953 pennies are proof coins, special pieces made with polished dies and planchets to achieve a mirror-like finish. These coins were not intended for circulation. They were created for collectors, with sharp details and dazzling contrast between the frosted design and reflective background. Proof pennies from 1953 are breathtaking works of art. The beauty of the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny isn't just in its appearance, it's in what it represents. Minted during the height of post-war optimism, it embodies an America on the rise. Every penny struck that year carried the spirit of progress, innovation, and national pride. Imagine a penny like this passing through countless hands, children saving them in jars, families using them at diners, or young people collecting them just for fun. These coins witnessed the heartbeat of 1950s America, from factory floors to small-town general stores. They are tiny time capsules of an era when life was simpler, but dreams were just as big. As the decades rolled by, many of these pennies disappeared from circulation, lost, melted down, or forgotten in drawers. Yet, a precious few survived in pristine condition, untouched by time. Those coins, brilliant, flawless, and uncirculated, are now worth small fortunes. For collectors, the 1953 wheat penny represents the perfect balance between history, art, and rarity. Its design captures the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, while its minting errors and variations tell the story of human craftsmanship. It's a coin that connects generations, one that links the past to the present through copper and memory. Numismatists continue to study the 1953 series, uncovering new details and varieties each year. Every discovery fuels excitement among collectors, reminding them that even after 7 decades, there are still secrets hidden within the world of pennies. Auction houses often feature rare examples of the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny, and when a high-grade coin appears, the bidding can become intense. Collectors from around the world recognize the significance of these coins and compete fiercely to own a piece of that mid-century legacy. What makes these coins so extraordinary is not just their scarcity, it's the passion and fascination they inspire. To hold a perfect 1953 penny is to hold a tangible piece of American history, something that has survived through time and change with its brilliance intact. So, if you come across an old penny from 1953, don't overlook it. Take a moment to study its surface, check for a mint mark, and notice its color. You might be surprised by what you find. It could be a rare and valuable treasure hiding in plain sight, these coins remind us that history can rest quietly in our hands, and that even something as small as a penny can hold immeasurable worth. For collectors, the thrill lies in the hunt, the possibility that the next coin they find could be the one that changes everything. Among the millions of 1953 Lincoln Wheat Pennies struck, only a few have achieved the status of true numismatic masterpieces. These rare examples, often with unique errors or flawless preservation, are the crown jewels of the Wheat Penny series. And one such exceptionally rare 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny has been valued at an incredible $385,000. You think you might have a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny? Tell us about it in the comments below so our channel can help you discover its true value. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating coin stories, and make sure to like this video and leave a comment so we can help you uncover the hidden treasures waiting in your coin collection. Top 10. In the final year of the iconic Wheat Penny series, a small copper coin emerged that would forever mark the end of an era in American coinage. The year was 1958. A time when the United States was on the brink of tremendous cultural and technological change. Rock and roll music echoed from jukeboxes, television was becoming a household staple, and the country was racing toward the dawn of the space age. Amid all this progress, the humble 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck, a coin that quietly closed one of the most beloved chapters in U.S. minting history. The Lincoln Wheat Penny had been part of American life since 1909. Created to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by the gifted sculptor Victor David Brenner, the coin was the first in U.S. history to feature the face of a real person. Brenner's portrait of Lincoln was both dignified and human, a perfect reflection of the president's enduring legacy. By 1958, nearly half a century after its debut, that same design still adorned the obverse of America's smallest denomination, serving as a constant reminder of unity, sacrifice, and leadership. When collectors look at a 1958 penny, they're gazing upon the last of the wheatback designs. After nearly 50 years, the U.S. Mint decided to retire the wheat stock reverse and replace it in 1959 with the Lincoln Memorial design. That makes the 1958 issue not just another cent, it's the symbolic final chapter of the wheat penny story, making it historically significant and emotionally cherished among numismatists. On the obverse, the 1958 penny features Abraham Lincoln's right-facing portrait with sharp, classic details that capture his thoughtful expression. The words "In God We Trust" arch across the top, a motto that had become a cornerstone of American identity. To the left of Lincoln's profile is the word liberty, and to the right, the date 1958, marking its place in U.S. history. Every curve and contour of this portrait speaks of respect for the man who preserved the Union. The reverse design is a work of simplicity and strength. Two wheat stalks frame the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, symbolizing growth, prosperity, and the agricultural foundation that fueled the nation's progress. Above those words is the motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. It's a fitting message for a coin that circulated in the pockets of millions of Americans during a time of unity and optimism. The 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted at 2 U.S. facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia mint coins carry no mint mark beneath the date, while those produced in Denver bear a small D. Together, both mints struck hundreds of millions of pennies that year, ensuring that nearly every American had at least one in their pocket. But as collectors know, it's not always the common coins that tell the most interesting stories, it's the rare ones that capture imaginations. Made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the 1958 penny glows with that rich reddish hue that collectors love. Over time, some of these coins toned into shades of brown or dark red, while others managed to preserve their fiery brilliance. It's that unblemished red surface, untouched by oxidation, that truly excites numismatists and drives up a coin's value. For collectors, the year 1958 holds a special place because it represents a turning point. After nearly 50 years of the wheat penny design, the mint prepared to unveil something new for Lincoln's 150th birthday the following year. That makes every 1958 penny not just another coin, it's the last of its kind, a final salute to a design that had witnessed both world wars and countless moments in American history. While most 1958 pennies were struck cleanly and without major issues, a few rare varieties and mint errors slipped through the presses, those unexpected accidents that make certain coins incredibly valuable today. These small mistakes often result from misaligned dies, double impressions, or unusual striking pressure, creating details that differ from normal coins in fascinating ways. Among the most coveted varieties is the 1958 double die obverse penny. This coin is famous for its striking doubling on the inscriptions "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date 1958. The doubling is so clear that it can be seen without magnification, a bold and unmistakable error that turned an ordinary cent into one of the greatest modern rarities. Only a few of these dramatic double die 1958 pennies are known to exist, making them some of the most desirable Lincoln cents ever discovered. When one appears at auction, it instantly attracts worldwide attention from collectors and investors alike. The combination of historical significance and extreme rarity makes this variety a crown jewel in any collection. In addition to the double die, collectors also look for minor variations such as repunched mint marks, die cracks, and off-center strikes from the Denver Mint. Though these are far less valuable than the major double die, they still tell a story of the minting process and offer exciting finds for hobbyists who love the thrill of the hunt. The condition of a 1958 penny plays an enormous role in its value. Coins that circulated heavily may show worn details and dull surfaces, while those preserved carefully in original rolls or sets remain brilliant and crisp. A 1958 penny graded as mint state, especially with its full red luster intact, can fetch impressive prices at coin shows and auctions. Grading services categorize coins based on their condition, using scales such as MS60 to MS70. A 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny graded MS67 or higher is exceedingly rare and commands a premium. Proof coins from 1958, produced with mirror-like finishes for collectors, are also prized for their sharp detail and stunning contrast. When you hold a 1958 penny in your hand, you're holding the end of an American legacy. That tiny piece of copper carries nearly 50 years of history, from the Great Depression and World War II to the post-war boom. It witnessed the transformation of America from an industrial power to a modern global leader, all while quietly circulating in everyday life. Every scratch, every gleam, every letter on a 1958 penny tells a story. Perhaps it once jingled in a worker's pocket during lunch at a diner, or maybe it was dropped by a child saving for their first toy. These coins traveled through time, through generations, carrying the hopes and dreams of everyday Americans. As decades passed, millions of these pennies disappeared, spent, melted, or lost. But the few that survived in pristine condition became treasures. Collectors now cherish them not only for their rarity but for the emotions they evoke, the nostalgia of simpler days, the beauty of craftsmanship, and the legacy of Abraham Lincoln's enduring image. The 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny stands as a symbol of both an ending and a beginning, the end of the wheat design and the start of a new chapter with the Lincoln Memorial reverse. It's the coin that bridged two eras, making it a crucial piece for anyone who loves U.S. numismatic history. Numismatists continue to search for perfect examples, studying every detail, every variation, and every gleaming surface. The thrill of discovering a flawless or rare 1958 penny still excites collectors to this day. Even now, more than 6 decades later, the mystery of this coin continues to inspire passion and fascination. When you think about it, a coin like the 1958 wheat penny is more than just metal, it's memory forged in copper. It's a tangible link to America's past, a testament to craftsmanship, and a reminder that even the smallest objects can hold the greatest stories. So, if you happen to come across a 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny, take a close look at it. Check for doubling, examine its color, and notice its condition. You never know, you might be holding one of the last great treasures of the wheat penny era. Each of these coins carries a spark of history, and for the lucky few who find the rarest ones, that spark can turn into a fortune. The 1958 penny remains one of the most legendary and desirable coins in American numismatics, admired for its beauty, symbolism, and scarcity. And one exceptional 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny, preserved in flawless condition and displaying rare double die characteristics, has been valued at an astonishing $360,000. You think you might have a 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny? Tell us about it in the comments below so our channel can help you discover its real worth. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating coin stories, and make sure to like this video and leave a comment so we can help you uncover the hidden treasures waiting in your own coin collection.